Are deep squats destroying your knees or actually making them stronger? It's got to be up there with one of the most debated topics in fitness. And today we're breaking down the science. A brand new study just reviewed all the research on deep squats and knee health, so stick around as we'll be looking at what the study showed, risk factors to consider, and whether you should be squatting deep, and other bigger problems that you need to consider. So this has been a big topic, with a lot of people advocating to never in any circumstance go below parallel or your knees will face the consequences. And then you've got others promoting full range deep squats being good for you. So let's wrap this up once and for all. What's the right answer? First up, let's look at what the study showed. So a team of researchers analysed 15 high-quality studies on deep squats, knee joint structures and injury risk. These studies included randomised control trials, cohort studies, systematic reviews and a case study, making it one of the most comprehensive reviews on the topic. They wanted to find out if squatting past parallel is a recipe for knee problems or if it actually benefits joint health. And guess what? And if you know this channel well enough, you can probably guess what we're about to say, that almost all of the studies have found that deep squats do not damage your knees when done correctly. In fact, they may even help strengthen them. However, this is not the case for everyone, and there's a few things that need to be considered. So, should you be deep squatting? So even though deep squats have been found to be safe, there are some instances where you shouldn't be, and other things you can ensure you're doing to reduce injury risk. For the majority of people, it will be fine and actually better to be deep squatting, because when you squat deep, you increase range of motion, activate more muscle fibers in your quads, glutes and hamstrings, and this actually improves knee stability over time. So who shouldn't be? Well, the main people that shouldn't are definitely people with any knee injury, especially anything with the meniscus or ligaments. Depth is something you can get to with these. It doesn't mean you won't be able to at all, but you definitely want to be easing into it over time. You have to be sensible and rehab your way there. Another problem is if you don't have the necessary mobility in your hips, ankles or thoracic spine, your body compensates, placing stress where it shouldn't. So technique and mobility work will really matter. A lot would say that one of the ways to actually do a good deep squat is to drive your hips out wide. However, it's much more about letting your knees travel further forward, and this takes a lot of ankle mobility. And this is where you might see people using plates under the heels to allow a deeper squat, or using lifting shoes which will have a slight wedge in them, so not relying so much on the ankle range. The best thing though is to actually work on ankle mobility and improve it over the long term, and I'll link a video at the end which will show you the best things to work on to get into that deeper squat. Other important considerations is to look at what you're currently doing. If you've been sticking to parallel and never dropping below, you can't then just use the same load you have been, as the knees just won't be ready for that if you then just start going into a deep squat. You'll need to ease back on the load and build it back up with new depth if wanting to minimize injury risk. The goal isn't just depth of load, it's quality movement. So the key takeaway here is not really the depth of the squat that puts you at risk, it's more poor form, excessive load and pre-existing knee conditions that are the real culprits. Work to control the movement at a load you can manage, use good form, and deep squats can be a powerful tool to building strong, resilient knees. And then watch this video next. If you're struggling with mobility to get into the right position, you can work on the things in that video first to get those right and then start building the load up.